feel like it was such a chance that I ended up meeting Henrik, because I was supposed to go to Cardiff University and I had my place all set, and it was like about an hour from Swindon, where I'm from, and I was just waiting for my A-level results really to get myself that place. And I had a phone call from my mum because I was away on holiday. I had a boyfriend who turned out to be not a very nice guy whatsoever, and I was on holiday with him and his mum and his dad in France, and my mum rang me and she was like, "You're going to be really happy with your English results." And I was like, okay. She got an A-level, great. She's like, going to be really disappointed with your philosophy results, because philosophy was what I wanted to study. And she was like, you've got like, I think I had literally like a D. I couldn't believe it. Like, I had such a low score and I had such high grades all the way through philosophy. It'd become like my real passion, like in like a typical teenage, like understanding the world for the first time. I just wanted to study philosophy, and I couldn't go to the uni I wanted to go to, which originally I think was obviously Cardiff. I'd got in. I wanted to go to Sheffield or somewhere that really felt like arty, and I just didn't want to go to uni anymore. So I just said to my mum, I'm not going to go, I'm just going to have a whole year off. And she was really nice about it, her and my dad. But quite recently my nan had died, and we'd moved, they decided to move to the countryside, to this tiny little one-bed cottage, because I wasn't going to be at home, my sister wasn't at home, my nanny wasn't around anymore, and it was this like one-bed cottage with a little loft room. So I ended up moving in there with them for a whole entire year, and I had this tiny Mini. My first car was a Mini with a pink roof, and it felt so far away. It was like a half an hour drive in this tiny Mini back into Swindon town to see my friends. I did it all the time. I drove in, and I had this whole year where I just temped and I just earned money and figured out that maybe that guy wasn't the right guy. And I started uni. I remember driving in with my dad and thinking, God, like, I'm going to uni. And I had a really nice room at uni. I went to Canterbury University in the end. So I chose Canterbury mainly because it had loads of vintage shops, which is such a shallow reason, but it had loads of cobbled streets, and it felt like the prettiest place I'd ever seen in my entire life. And I loved walking around campus holding my books, and it felt really cool. And then I remember, like, one day we were in this Mexican restaurant that was in our campus, and my friend said to me, look at those guys, they're on my course, which one would you go out with if you had to? And I was like, oh, maybe the blonde one. And that was Henrik, and I really liked him from the minute I saw him. But I was like a real, like, kind of hippie girl. Like, I used to wear like all my clothes were from charity shops, and his mum and dad are like own a fashion agency and were really like stylish, and he was a real lad. Like, he loved playing football and being with the boys, and that is not the kind of guy I'd normally go for. But ended up being that he was just my person. So it took a long time, like until the second year of uni. We went back in the September, and I'm thinking in October we invited him over for a Halloween party, and he showed up, and all my best friends were there. They'd come from home to be at my Halloween party, as you do in your 20s. And yeah, he came in and he was like, I really like you, do you want to go to the cinema? And we went to the movies together, and I remember it so clearly. We went to watch this really awful rom-com, and he kept looking at me and he kept talking the whole way through the movie, and I thought, wow, he must really like me because he's talking to me the whole way through the movie. But now I know that he just talks all the way through movies anyway. And then we started going out, and I fell really in love quickly. And he said, oh, I've got to tell you something. And he was leaving to go to San Francisco for a year, but we didn't be going out for like 3 or 4 months. So we decided that we would go to meet his mum and dad in Sweden. So we took the car, his mum's car, packed up all his stuff to take him home, and I was going to go as well, meet his mum and dad, and we missed the ferry. So we ended up driving from Dover all the way to Sweden in one day to go to his dad's 50th birthday party. when we got there, I felt so terrible. I felt sick to my stomach. And everyone kept saying to me, like, oh, but you just met and you're not going to see each other again. It's probably not going to work out. But that year when he was in San Francisco, I ended up going over to see him so many times. My mum and dad were just like, the most important thing is the person you end up marrying, and that's going to be your one person. That's going to get you through anything else. So follow your heart and go with who you want to be with, rather than any of your education or anything. So yeah, they did that for me. And he came back to the UK. I'd already left uni by then and moved to London, got a job at an ad agency working on reception. Just working my way up from reception. He was finishing his degree back in Canterbury, and we saw each other maybe once a month, but for some reason it just always felt right with him. And you fast forward to now, a 10-year-old. Oh, I wish I could have told myself that back then, that one day we'd be here now with 3 kids, like the boy at uni that I really, really loved, and I thought I would never end up with, for so many obstacles in our way. But yeah, it did all work out. So yeah, it's been a lot, and now we're home together for however long, and hopefully with no judgment. And that's all you can really want, is no judgment. Somebody is not looking over your shoulder saying you're doing the wrong thing, or you're not doing this good enough, or maybe you could do that better. Because I'm sure he thinks all that stuff, and I think all that stuff as well, but we don't ever say that to each other. We're just always like, well done today. And yeah, we'll see where this time takes us. But as long as we can do it together, then you never know what's going on behind closed doors. So I'm glad that behind my closed doors there's so much love and so much honesty and acceptance and appreciation of each other.